Hi, YouTube family. It's Daughter of the Most High. I got another strike, so I wasn't able to upload a video for a week. And if you get 2 strikes in 90 days, then they will let you upload a video for 2 weeks. And if you get 3 strikes, they take your channel down. So that's scoop there. At least that's my current understanding. I don't pay a whole lot of attention to it, but I probably should because I've gotten 2 strikes now. But thankfully, I was going to say 90 minutes apart. That's more like it, right? 90 days apart. So anyway, lots of videos out there and very interesting. I have been watching what Midnight Hour Oil Melissa has been posting, and I also found a new channel that I've been listening to. It's called Change is Coming. And I just subscribed to her channel about a week ago. And she actually, let me see when she posted this video. May 4th. She posted a video May 4th. And I encourage you to watch it. It was very interesting. And again, her channel name is Change is Coming. She has 17.1K subscribers, so she's a bigger channel. And I came across her like a week ago, as I said, and subscribed. And then actually that was about a week ago, but this is a video that I had not watched initially. So this is a May 4th. Look for that. Powerful Dream, she says. And I won't read read the rest. That's hard to say. Read the rest. I feel a little bit cautious because I really don't want to lose my channel. So, but I am in leaning towards in agreement with what she shares in that video. It's seeming that way. And also Midnight Hour Oil and Brother Works, the Revelations of Jesus Christ. And so it's starting to seem like they are the ones that are accurate with the current situation. And that is incredibly sad when I think of how many people have subscribed to the current agenda, and especially believers. And yeah, so I'm still like digesting that and grieving that, and yeah, that's tough stuff. So but I'm going to stop there on that. I encourage you to look that up, as well as Melissa's channel, Midnight Hour Oil. And yeah, those are the two that I've been watching lately. And Brother Works. I never finished that 6.5 hour video. I think I'm on like hour 3 or 4. But again, I've been a busy bee because let me tell you my van story. And I'm going to try to nutshell it because it's really not that exciting, but it was a journey. It truly was a journey. So, but I'm going to try to nutshell it. So the first van I looked at was the Chrysler Town and Country, and it was about 10 grand. And I, shared on my Facebook that I was going to buy this van. I believe it was coming up on the Friday. And I shared too in a previous video of my own on YouTube that somebody said, I hope I caught you. You would do much better to buy a Toyota Sienna or Honda Odyssey because of the longevity of these two particular vehicles. Well, longevity means the world to me, and reliability. And you know why. I am 60 years old, almost 60 and a half. The months are just passing so quickly. And I have to have a reliable vehicle. And I also don't want to deal with the timing belt that needs to be changed in the Honda Odyssey, although that is a very good van. They all drive well. They do. They're like driving a car. But I have to know and be cautious about what's under the hood and the consumer reports about them. So I backed out of the Town and Country. I did put $100 down, and I thought he would refund that to me, and he said he would not. So, because I held the van, remember it was 2 days, like 2 days. Seriously, you weren't going to sell your van in 2 days. But anyway, So then I found a van on Facebook Marketplace. The first one was, the second one was, and this person lived a couple cities over. Van was perfectly clean. It was a Honda Odyssey and in great shape, and or so I thought. And the people are Christians. I went there on a Saturday and I said, I'd like to come back tomorrow and drive it longer. I had gone in the evening and then like the sun went down and it was like too dark. And I really wanted to come back the next day. And so I said, can I come back tomorrow? And he said, well, we go to church. And then, so in the afternoon, and I thought, we go to church. That's exactly what I wanted to hear. We go to church. So they are Christians. And so I felt safe. I flat out said that to him. I said, I'm so glad to hear you're Christians. You go to church. And also in their videos, like when they, or not videos, pictures of their vehicle, when they showed the picture of the dash, or posted the picture of the dash, it had 98.5, which is our local Christian station. So, hang on, I'm just wiggling a bit. So I was like, oh, good, this is God. He want, that whole thing. Well, so I learned a little bit about van shopping, and I learned to check with a mechanic, make an appointment, and have the mechanic check over the vehicle. So I did that. And that place where I had that done is very near my house, so I didn't have to drive back out to their house, which it took me about 25 minutes one way. We met there, and the van checked out, and it was good. Everything was good, except for they said we don't know if the timing belt was done. The timing belt needed to be done at 105,000 miles, and the vehicle had 130 miles on it, 130. So I was like, okay, so the timing belt is huge. If it breaks, it's a big fix. So we went back and forth a little bit, and I said, okay, if, maybe it was 11,000, the van. And so I said, no, it was 10. And I said, I'll give you 9 and I'll do the fix. And he said, no, I'll do the fix. I said, no, I'll do the fix, because I didn't trust him. And so that night we agreed on that. I was going to pay 9,000 and then another grand to fix the timing belt. And that night I was sitting here at my computer, and I think it was God that said, check the VIN number. I had the VIN number from the Facebook Marketplace, and they post the VIN number on there. I looked up the VIN number. This was like at 2 in the morning. I'm always up late. I checked the VIN number, and I already had a $9,000 cashier's check in my purse. The night before, I was actually going to meet them and then get the van. Check the VIN number. I checked their VIN number, and it's a salvage title. 2 accidents. I'm like, I don't need a salvage title. No. 2 accidents? No. And so the van looks great, and the mechanic that checked over the vehicle didn't check the VIN number. So I'm going to mention that to them too. That needs to be part of when the mechanic goes over it and then check the VIN number. I didn't know that, and I of course know to do that, but I'm going to tell them, and I actually take my vehicles there, so I'll tell them, make that part of your van check or vehicle check. So I was so incredibly disappointed. I have looked at so many vans. I have looked at Facebook Marketplace and other, once you start looking for something, then all the ads come up on when you're online, all that kind of stuff. I have looked at so many vans. I have inquired about so many vans. I was ready to be done. So I don't want a salvage title vehicle. They lied to me about the accident. They told me about one accident. There was 2. They didn't tell me about the salvage title. I was so disappointed. Plus, they didn't do the timing belt. So I was finding out things as I went, and I messaged them at night, and I said, I'm sorry, I cannot buy your vehicle. I don't want a salvage title vehicle. If the issue with a salvage title, and I did call my insurance, and I asked them if I have a salvage title. Sometimes they won't give you as much back if you get into an accident because the car's already been in accidents. So there was that issue too. All this info, I'm just like exhausted with it. So I ended up backing out of that and thought, oh, Lord. So then I, near my job, couple cities over, actually, well, it is a couple cities, but it's like 15 minutes. It's not bad. And it's a straight shot over Highway 13 from my job, and I went and looked at a van. Well, I went on a Wednesday just before work, not expecting it to, like, is this going to work out? I've looked at vans that are dirty, that don't drive well, so a lot of them just aren't great. I checked this van out. It's clean, it's nice, and it drives like a dream. I'm like, I love this van. And this one was a Toyota Sienna. I decided to go with the Toyota Sienna because they have from 2012 on or forward, they have a timing chain, not a timing belt. So you don't have that concern and that expense. So good news for me. So I said, okay, I got to get to work, but I'm going to come back Friday, spend a little bit more time with this vehicle, look it over the whole nine. So I had made my appointment and Friday, and so we, looked at the seats. How is this going to work for van life? I told him my plan. I drove it. Now, it was a little warmer that day, so I tried to put on the AC. The AC did not work. The AC blew, but it didn't blow cold. So I came back and I'm like, I love this van, but the AC needs to be fixed. And so he said, yeah, okay, we'll put it in the shop, we'll detail it, and we'll fix the AC. That was on Friday. I was excited. I found my van. So the guy said he would call me Saturday. He actually did not call me Saturday. So I called Monday and I said, I didn't hear from him. His name was Devin. I didn't hear from Devin on Saturday. I'm just wondering what's going on with my van, if it's ready, that sort of thing. And I didn't get a call back till later in the day. And I was at work because I work the second half of the day. And I get a message later on in the day, your van sold. I was like, what? My van wasn't even supposed to be on the lot. My van was supposed to be in detail and getting the AC fixed. And then we were going to pick the day for me to come and pay for it. So, oops. So I couldn't believe it. I said, it's got to be a mistake. So he left me a voicemail. I left him a voicemail. I said, it's got to be a mistake. I spoke to Devin on Friday. This was our plan. And then I was going to pick a day to come and actually purchase it and drive it home. Drive it to work. And so he said, I'm sorry, the van is sold. He said, I'll try to find you another one. I was so incredibly disappointed and sick of looking at vans. I had vans coming out my ears by that time. So a couple days, he says, I got a van for you. So I scheduled the appointment to go and see the van. And I go see it, and I drove it. Doesn't drive as nice. So I pulled over and took a picture of the VIN number so I could look up the VIN number. And then, I don't know why my dog is barking. Little naughty bug. Uh-oh. So I pull over, and then I was just going to look in the back, and I pulled it. You know how you pull the handle, but then it just goes back automatically. So I pull the handle. I'm looking around a little bit. This van was supposed to be in detail. That's what he said to me. It's supposed to be in detail. It'll be all cleaned up and ready. It never was. The first van that I was going to buy would never. They said, oh, we'll put it in detail and you can come and look at it Friday. Detail is where they clean and vacuum and do everything. So it was still dirty on Friday. They don't do anything. And then the AC didn't work. Hang on one second. My doggies are barking. So I opened the van door and I'm looking around. It looks okay. And I go to close the van door and it won't close. It closes part of the way, and then, like, if it reads something's in the way, while I'm looking around, nothing's in the way. I keep trying to close it. I had pulled into a little strip mall where there were businesses. I go into one of the businesses. I asked the guy, come out and help me with this van. It won't close. So he said, He was better at it than I was, and he could kind of tell where it needed, like where it was misreading. So he was able to like push it shut. So I was like, thank heaven. I told him I had just gotten that van from Walzer and was doing a test drive. And so I drove it back to the shop and I just walked in and I left. So I was just like, I'm so done. And you guys aren't trustworthy. The van isn't clean. The door doesn't shut, and this is the new van. And then you sold the other one out from underneath me. So what I'm thinking happened with that van, which was a great van, is that when I had told them about the AC needing to get fixed, they were hoping that they could sell it without fixing the AC so they could make that money. That's why they sold it. And so he had no intention of putting it into detail and fixing the AC. And he let me think over the weekend that this was the van I was going to buy. And then they just, oops, your van's gone. So by this point, I was completely disgusted. And I thought, everybody's a crook. The Christian couple that didn't tell me the truth from the beginning, plus I paid for the mechanic to go over it, which was $90. And then I find out I should have checked the VIN right away, but I was new to this process. So they wasted $90 and a bunch of time for me because they didn't tell me the truth. Mr. and Mrs. 98.5. And I was like, you guys didn't tell me about the timing belt. You didn't tell me about the salvage title. You told me about one accident, not two. You wasted my time and my money. So I wasn't happy. So I had gone to work after, because this place is right by my work. And I was sitting at my desk and it's my paperwork day. And I was just like, God, am I not supposed to buy a van? I mean, are you telling me I'm not supposed to buy a van? Like it's not time? And I was sitting there and I was praying and I just didn't know why. And everything was just not working out. And I was sick of it. I don't want this to be my life. Some shopping is fine, but I was tired of it. So I was sitting at my desk and I was praying and I'm doing my work. And I just said, if it's not time, it's not time. That's okay. I'm just not going to keep doing the same thing and having it not work out for various reasons. And I still feel like, how when we pray about things, that we feel like if things don't work out or we don't get the job or whatever it is, that it's God's hand. And so I am a little surprised about that van because it really was awesome. The Toyota Sienna that was at, I won't name the place, but it's near my work, that one, the third one. And I thought, oh, this is such a great find, It had 114,000 on it. It was 12.9, needed the AC fixed. And so it was just like the everything van. It was clean, other than just needing a vacuum. So I just didn't understand why this was going on. So I'm sitting there and I'm disappointed and I'm frustrated. I wanted to move forward on this. And I get a little ping on my phone. And I had looked at a van. This was between, I don't even know which vans. I think van 2 and van 3. I'm not sure, maybe van 1 and van 2. And this van that I had looked at and loved, but it was out of my price range. It was $17,000. And I just thought, I'm not going to pay this much. I want to stick to like 12 or 13,000. Well, this couple, and I had met them in their Toyota Sienna, which is a 2014. It's silver. And they were a Christian couple and just wanted to sell this van, didn't need it anymore. And so there was a ping because he actually reduced the price by about like $250 or something. And I said, God, okay, I wrote this van off. I didn't think I should. It's a perfect van. It's in great shape. It's only got 85,000 miles on it. Am I supposed to buy this van, Lord? Because to buy this van, I got to take out a loan. And I realize it's newer, fewer miles, in perfect shape, perfect like maintenance on this the whole time. Are you leading me in this direction, God? And because I just assume as a single, divorced single mom, living check to check for the last 13 years, my first thought is to cut corners, never to exceed my budget, that kind of stuff. And so I just assumed I can't afford this van, even though I really like it. It's $17,000. Well, I prayed about it and I said, Lord, if that's the van for me, then I will take out a small loan and we'll see if it'll work out. So that is what is happening. So this weekend, supposedly, I am still cautious because so many things, several things have fallen through that I am now thinking that this is my van. I'm going to go get it. I'm going to get a loan for probably about $3,500, and then I'm going to pay cash because I've been saving for the rest. And so right around $3,500, maybe $4,000, and just take out like a little 2-year loan. And I'm excited about this van. I like the silver. I like the gray interior. I like the cloth interior. I like 85,000 miles on it. And these are a Christian couple. And I told them that, not in such details as I've just shared with you, but I've been through the ringer with these vans. But I said, I feel like the Lord is leading me back to your van. So, and they are a Christian couple. And so, yeah, I feel good about it. And I'm looking forward to moving forward into this. And a big part of this, part of it is vacationing for me. It's vacationing. But part of it is in the near future, it's going to be a bug out vehicle. So if something happens here, and I've shared that before, if something happens in the US or the Vax passport, if I end up living in a van life full time, whatever happens, I need a vehicle that I can actually live in. Now we can live in a car if we need to, but I think if with some preparation, I can do a little better than that, and that is this van. So that got a little more detailed than I planned. It was such a journey and probably not terribly interesting to somebody that's just listening to it, and it doesn't have a whole lot of meaning, but that was my journey. Why it had to be that long, those so many hours, driving here, driving there, test driving, talking about, negotiating, all for nothing until I end up back at this van. So they do seem like a good couple, a sincere couple. They really do. And I'm hoping that I am in fact ready to buy and be done with this journey. And then I can move to the next step, which is my van build. And so I'll save that for a separate video, but I'm going to do a no build, which means I'm not going to fasten anything to the walls or the ceiling or anything. So anyway, my phone's blinking at me. I will let you go, family of God. And so that's my van life story and journey. So have a blessed rest of your week, and I will see you soon.